All right, thank you all for your patience. Again, my name is John Barton, and I'm super excited to be here at Spillane. And a little bit about me, this is my 20th year to teach, and I've known about the Spillane band for several years, because this is an amazing band program, and I'm just very honored that I get to work with such amazing kids, like these kids down here in first period and second period, and these kids that are up on stage. And last night, if you were part of our 6th grade beginning band program last night, it's just an amazing group of kids. So thank you so much for allowing me to let me work with your kids and let them enjoy what I've turned into my profession and the joy of my life, which is giving music and letting kids experience it like I did and giving them that wonderful joy. So thank you so much for allowing me to do that. The first piece that we're going to, thank you. The first piece we're going to play for you tonight is a real fun song. It's called Carribbean Christmas. I hope you enjoy it. Guys are awesome, aren't they? So, yeah, I agree. So, before we play our next selection for you, there's a bunch of people that I'd like to recognize because these guys up on stage are doing fantastic things. Okay, in percussion, you'll just get ready, it's fine. So, let me preface this with this. Earlier this year, they have this thing called Region Band Competition. Basically, it's where we take a chair test between the kids at our school and the students that are at all the other schools in Cypress plus Brenham, Waller, some other schools in the neighboring area. And so we pass out the music to them the beginning of the year, and they learn the music, and then they do a blind audition. The judges have no idea who is who. There's 5 judges in every room, so it's totally anonymous, and that way they add up their scores together to get the average. And so that's a really big deal for a student that's in middle school. And you heard Ms. Denham talk about, we had a few students that were in the Symphonic band that did that as well, so big kudos to them. But if you were in Symphonic Winds, and I have to be careful because I've called that something the last few years, so I just want to make sure I say that correctly. Symphonic Winds, and you audition for region band tryouts, would you please stand up? So just going and doing the audition takes a lot of courage. And I remember when I was their age, that was very nerve-wracking because you don't know what the kids at the other schools sound like, and you're very conscious about your own playing, and for them to go and put themselves in a very stressful situation like that takes a lot of courage, so very big kudos to them. Now, I have a lot of great news to report because we had over 30 students that were selected to the region band or the district band. So if you were selected to the region band or the district band, would you please stand up? Okay, now, so they kind of break it up into tiers. So the district band is selected, and then we have the region band. So if you were selected to the region band, what they did was they got together with all the other kids at all the other schools that were selected as region band members, and they came up to the school on a weekend, on a Friday evening and an all-day Saturday. They had a special guest conductor with music that they had never seen before, and they learned all of the music in basically 6 hours. And then they gave a concert, and it was really something awesome with all the kids from all the other schools. So if you were selected to the region band and you got to perform in that really special honor concert, would you please stand up so we can recognize you? That's a big, big deal. So I was telling the kids throughout the year, said, making the region band is probably the highest accomplishment any middle school band student can make because it's the only true competition where we measure them against other students in the area. So that's really cool. All right, now there's another level above that. So if you were placed in the very top tier of your group, so your instrument, you were selected to the region orchestra. And the students that were in the region orchestra gave up another weekend. They came up on a Friday night and a Saturday. They had another special conductor. They got to play really cool music. They learned all of it in like 6 hours. They got to play with the stringed instruments that are in the orchestra. So it's a very select group of people. It's just the very, very top. So if you were selected for the region orchestra, would you please stand up so we can recognize you? Okay, now, y'all can have a seat. That's a really big deal. And by the way, all of this information is on the back of the program. It lists all the students, and it lists students, y'all don't have it on yours, but I can give it to you. And it lists exactly if they were region band, district band, orchestra, and all that stuff. Now, this is really cool. We had a few students that were selected as the very, very best players on their instrument. Okay, first chair. So out of all the schools around here, they were selected as number 1. So let's give them a big, big round of applause. If you're first chair, why don't you come up to them? First chair, stand up. Come up to them. So, this is Tripp, and then this is Linda, and then Hannah. First chair on your instrument. That's really, really cool. Okay, we're going to play another fun song for you. This is called Patapan, and it features the flute section for a lot of it, and the percussion get to do a really cool thing in the middle. So this is Patapan. Okay, so I'm going to talk for a few more minutes. Earlier this year, we did a really, really cool fundraiser. So when I was in my job interview, they were like, so how do you feel about doing fun runs? And I was like, oh, I love fun runs. And so we do an awesome fun run here that's in conjunction with the orchestra and the choir. And if you were a parent, because we had a ton of parent help, okay, if you helped in any way on the fun run, would you please stand up so we can give you a big congratulations? These wonderful people put in hours and hours and many, many hours, and this all started back in May of last year. In fact, I had a meeting today about trying to get that going again for next year. So if you're interested in volunteering for our fun run for next year, please come talk to me or one of the other directors, because we would love to have you come and help us. We had over 600 people that were registered for the fun run, which is awesome. And it goes right around the school here. And I went with my wife Laura, and Emily was in the stroller. We had a good time. And we saw a bunch of puppy dogs. And Emily's second favorite word after mama is puppy. And so, you know, daddy's somewhere way down at the bottom of the list. That's okay. And I'm happy to report that we raised a little over $8,500 for the band out of that event. So that's really awesome. So thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, the next song we're going to play for you is a Christmas time favorite. You hear it on the radio all the time. This is Sleigh. middle school horse I've ever heard in my life. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so as we get ready for our last song tonight, I'm going to talk to you for probably just about 5 minutes. I know. They get tired of hearing Mr. Barton's voice. I know. That's okay. So, we're very, very blessed because we're here in this beautiful school that's across the street. So a big, big thank you to the Slywood staff, which is Mr. Harrington and Mr. Wood and Mr. Casillas and Mr. Peterman. And I know they're all here because I've seen them all. Big thank you to them. And then a huge thank you to the colleagues that I work with, because they're the ones, we have a very small office. And all of a sudden this new person shows up and poor Miss Denham and Mr. Smith, and they're like, who is John Barton? And then, so we've been learning how to work together, and it's been a lot of fun. And so I'm telling you, these people have helped me out so much. It's like, Mr. Smith, how do we do this? Oh, it's not a problem. See, I just get in my truck and we put everything in. I was like, cool. And then Miss Denham goes, hey, have you remembered about this? I go, why don't you tell me about that? Because I have no idea what you're talking about. And she goes, well, it's this and this and this, and here, let me help you with that. And for somebody with their very first year with a band program that's as awesome as this is, and we have 360 kids that we're responsible for, hey, I could not do this job without amazing people that I get to work with. So huge, huge thank you. Would you please help me in thanking them? And then, you know you this, but you're at a very, very special place at Spillane Middle School. And my very first meeting with Mr. Harrington, we went to lunch right on the street. And he said, I just want you to know that teaching at Spillane is like being at Disneyland. And it truly is. It's a great place to be. And I'm very, very blessed to be here with these great kids and with you. And it's because we have great administration. And hopefully she doesn't get too mad at me, but on Friday at about 3:45, they announced that we had a new principal at Spillane Middle School. I don't know if you're aware. Mr. Manis accepted a position at Cy Ranch as the head principal there. And he is awesome, and we're super excited for him and that wonderful opportunity that presents him. But I want you to know that we're in amazing hands, because this person that they selected is a Spillane person, somebody that's been with us, and I'm going to let her talk. This is Miss Jamie Romichael, and welcome to us as our brand new Spillane.
It truly has been the honor of a lifetime to be able to be named the principal of Spillane, and you can tell from our parents and students, and obviously our band directors and band everyone here, how much I just am honored to have this position. Now, I didn't expect Mr. Barton to speak so much, because last night at the 6th grade band, he did, and so now I feel guilty that I'm taking up even more time of your evening, but I just wanted to say just a couple things. Spillane has been my home since 2005. Miss Denham and I actually opened Spillane together. And my little one, my youngest one, was actually smaller than little Emily. When you saw Emily up here, I think my daughter was maybe 7 months old when Spillane opened. And they are 13 and 14. My two children are 13 and 14. They know every nook and cranny of Spillane. Like, if we ever have anything missing, they're who we turn to. We're like, where can you find a table, or where can you find this? They know the answer. But I've been a counselor, AP, in the last 7 years, the director of instruction. And I have been under the best principal. Mr. Manis is amazing and just going to be a tough act to follow, but I want you to know that I'm going to give it my all. And with students like you all, that obviously put your heart and soul, and you guys back here, into music. The 6th grade concert last night, I was listening, and I kept thinking, I can't believe that they are already playing songs, and you can tell what they are. Like, really, and I'm not even trying to be funny, like, I can't play anything, so I was just like, wow, they're really learning music. But then you come tonight, and sitting back here, I literally got chills watching you guys and how amazing you already sound. And I know it's because of Mr. Harrington back there, if you had him in 6th and 7th grade, but also with Mr. Barton, Miss Denham, and Mr. Smith. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
I know Ms. Denham talked to you for a moment, but I wanted to just kind of reiterate that. So our next big season, right? So band is divided into seasons, just like sports, kind of. So our next big season after this is solo and ensemble. So the students have their solos that they're working on in their ensemble. So they should be working on those. And that competition is the beginning of February, February 2nd, which is my dad's birthday. And then after that, we have our big UIL push, which is basically the STAR test, but for band. And so we started passing out some of that music today and tomorrow, and so the students have that music to begin working on it. And I bet you're not gonna believe, like, this is awesome. Like, these guys did amazing tonight. But by the end of the year, you're just gonna be blown away with the amount of musicianship and the quality of work that they're doing. And so, I couldn't be more proud of what they're doing. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet because I know you're tired of listening to me talk. Okay, the last song we're going to play for you tonight is a really neat song. It's a very challenging song because it's a bunch of music that you know. And we would love it for you to participate with us because that just makes it more fun. So this auditorium holds probably around, I would guess, probably about 800 people. And we're going to play the introduction to every Christmas carol that's in your program. And we would love it if you would sing along with us. Because, you know, sharing music with others is such a fun experience, and this is a great time of year to do it, because Christmas music is some of my absolute favorites. So we're going to end our portion of the concert, and whoever's doing lights, is that you, Mr. Harrington? If you can turn the lights on just a little bit so we can see our programs. And then I'll kind of show you when we're supposed, oh, there it is, everybody. I'll show you when we're supposed to sing the next song. Cool? All right, this is our final song, Christmas Single. Thank you all so very much. Hey, we truly do wish you a very happy holiday and a very Merry Christmas. And there's only 2 more days of school, no school in front. So thank you again so much, everybody. Be safe going home. Students, thank you, everybody.